The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, Sandy Vicchiani here with Insurance Agency Marketing. I head up the Life Division here at IAMS and just wanted to say thank you so much for taking time out of your Monday morning to attend this webinar. Just so greatly appreciate it. North American's a good friend of IAMS. They're a great company to deal with and very excited to have all of you learn just a little bit more about North American and how they can fit into your business. Before I hand it over to AJ with North American, I am going to go over a couple housekeeping items first. Here at IAMS, we have something called an IAMS Business Builder, and what that is when you refer an agent over to IAMS and that agent gets contracted, we send a check to that agent for $50. When that agent writes and places business, from that point on, indefinitely, as long as they're placing business, you get a 20 basis point override on any piece of placed business written and placed thereafter. That doesn't come out of your commission. It doesn't come out of their commission. That comes from IAMS as a thank you for entrusting us with that referral. For marketing reimbursement, everyone has the as soon as you're contracted with IAMS, everyone is signed up for that. And what that is for every $100,000 of placed premium, whether that's life, annuity, MedSup, combination thereof, we put $100 in a marketing reimbursement account. And that continues to build. It carries over each year. You never lose those funds. And then what you do with that, think of it as a business savings account. Submit a business invoice to us, whether you've purchased a seminar or a computer, whatever the case may be. Submit that. We pay up to 50% of what that invoice is, as long as you have that much money in that account. For all of our new agents in your first 6 months of being contracted with us, what we have is something called a new business builder. And when you place $100,000 of business with us in your first 6 months, you choose a 2-year producer website that we create and manage for you, or you can choose a $750 cash bonus. If you'd like to hold off because you think, gosh, I'm going to place $300,000 of business with IAMS in my first 6 months, you can choose a $2,000 marketing reimbursement. So what that is that account that I just spoke about, that business account, will deposit $2,000 in there. You can choose a $1,500 gift card, or you can choose a Social Security program and 3,000-piece mailing. If you'd like to hold off because you think, gosh, I'm going to go gangbusters here and place $500,000 of business with IAMS, again, that's life, annuity, MedSup, long-term care, combination thereof. You can choose a 4,000-piece mailing in seminar coaching with a top producer of ours, Dave Pimper, a 5,000-piece mailing in seminar coaching with another top producer of ours, Matt Gill. Or you can choose my favorite, which is a Ritz-Carlton travel reward getaway, where you plan your own destination getaway. We also have strong back office support, and we start that when we set you up on paperless contracting. So what we do is we send you out the forms. You complete them, circle any carrier or carriers that you're interested in getting contracted with, send that back to us, and then we set you up electronically so there's no additional paperwork. We also do case design assistance where we run your quotes. We let you know which carrier you should go with. We send you forms. We, do top sales expertise and coaching. And real important out of all of this is the submission to commission. And what I mean by that is when you submit an application to IAMS, we scrub that application, make sure nothing's missing, order any exams and labs that we need to order, give you a call, let you know we have received it, and then send it to the carrier that same day. We touch that case every 3 days to make sure it's staying on track and issued and placed and out the door just as quickly as possible for you to get paid commission. We also have a strong marketing team with Jacob, Sean, or Aaron, and if you've seen any of our life and annuity books, our newsletters, anything like that, our webinars even, they have a hand in that. So if you need any flyers or handouts, a logo design, business cards, a website if you have one that needs refreshed, or you don't have one and you want us to create and manage one for you. Online newsletters and regular newsletters, social media. So if you see all those ads on Facebook and you want to know how you can get your agency's name out there, contact our creative department and they can help assist you do that. We also have a strong website. This website's available 24/7. It is www.iamsinc.com. And when you give us a call and you ask for a quote, whether it's a term quote or a UL quote, you ask for forms, this is exactly where we go. So you can run quotes, you can pull forms, you can look at current industry links and news. If you want to know who our top 5 MIGA carriers are, we have a great annuity grid that you can pull that up. You can take a look at our webinar schedule, and you can also view any of our past recorded webinars. And then we have a great sales resource library that gives little individual 2 to 3 minute videos on, indexed annuities and income riders and key man coverage, buy-sell agreements, all that great stuff. So if you're not registered for IAMS website, I strongly suggest that you get registered and take a look and see all the opportunities that are there for you. We also have an IAMS Wealth Management division, and we started that when the DOL ruling came out. We thought it was really important for agents to capture as much revenue as possible, for the agent not to go outside of for the clients not to go outside you as the agent. And so what we did, again, is a wealth management division, and that was to help increase revenue for you. You're able to offer a full range of different products and services. And then you strengthen your clients' relationships because you're viewed differently. You're viewed as a fiduciary. So if you have a Series 65, or you're looking to get a Series 65, or you want to know how you can capture the revenue, please give us a call. We'll be happy to go over that for you. We'll also be able to let you know currently where that DOL ruling stands. So I'm going to put out a poll question here. Actually, I don't have that poll question. So what I'm going to talk about is our Life and Annuity Academy. And what that is, it's a 2-day producer academy. We have agents that we fly from all over the United States. We pay for everything. So it is all expense paid trip, from your lodging, airfare, meals. We have top producers come in and talk about indexed annuities, different annuity threats and trends, and how to overcome client objections. We go over seminar systems, whether you're looking at cookies and coffee in a library to your more formal sit-down dinner seminars. Large life case marketing, business insurance concepts. We go over wealth transfer tools, single premium life, the infinite bank
still haven't been able to hear anybody for about 5 minutes, but so I'm just going to assume that everybody on this call can actually hear me.
I can hear
again,
you, AJ.
thank you to Sam.
Yep,
Oh,
I can
okay.
hear you. There we go.
Okay. It had cut out for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Gosh, I'm not sure what happened, but we can hear you and see your screen.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, Sandy, thank you very much for that. Again, my name is AJ Staffson. I'm an internal wholesaler here at North American. Before that, I actually worked at a couple different MGAs for about 14 years, so very familiar with what IAMS does and what agents out there in the field are looking for these days. I began in the business in 2001, so back then the paper applications were maybe 2 or 3 pages at the most at that point, and now we're seeing them right around that 35 to 40 pages, and I know it gets a little bit daunting for people. So what we wanted to do here at North American, just like a lot of the other companies out there, is we wanted to get involved into the faster processing, the e-application process. We know that people these days want something quicker, they want something easier, all those sort of things, whether they're using their computers, whether they're using their phones or shopping through Amazon or whatever it is. It's no different in the insurance world. So what we did a few years ago is we also jumped into the e-application process. So I do want to talk about our e-application process briefly, but talk more about the right-of-way underwriting that we have. That's more of our simplified process into underwriting. And then I'm also going to talk about the living benefits that we were able to add to term here at the end of 2018. So the first thing I want to talk about is this right-of-way processing that we have here at North American. So right-of-way is the actual processing that we call the underwriting, the simplified process. To get this, you do as an agent have to go through our e-application, which is what we call Simple Submit. We've had that out for a few years, so some people on the call are probably used to that or have tried that before. Now, there's 2 ways you can do Simple Submit. You can either go through the IAMS portal, or you can go through NorthAmericanCompany.com. We highly advise that you go through the IAMS portal because then it ties to them, they can process it, and they can speak to North American when you are speaking to them about how the case is going and updates and all those sort of things. Now, the right-of-way is the actual underwriting process itself, okay? Now, what do we use this for? Well, it's going to be that process for underwriting maybe those clients that you have that are going to be the healthiest ones, okay? What I'm hearing right now is about 40% of the cases that come in via Simple Submit are going through the right-of-way process and getting an offer within 2 to 3 business days. Now, obviously, what is going to be the advantages of something like this? Well, it's pretty obvious. You're going to get less invasive. Opportunity for no labs or exams is going to be easier on the client. Also for you, it's that simple online application process instead of doing those 35 to 40 pages that you're used to doing on a paper application. Also, it's basically foolproof when you're doing the Simple Submit and the right-of-way process, because when you're doing the e-application, if you're not doing something right, it basically will stop you from going to the next page. So obviously, when you do the paper application, you have nothing to stop you at that point. You could be making mistakes and skipping things and stuff like that, where when we go through the NIGO process, the e-app, the Simple Submit, it's going to help you through that process. It's going to tell you what you need to do, and if you haven't done it right, there's going to be an alarm or some sort of alert that'll tell you differently. Obviously here, faster underwriting. Like I said earlier, clients can have a decision in 48 to 72 hours. And obviously for you, the agent and advisor, it's full commissions, quicker processing. What does that mean? Well, it means everybody gets paid faster, okay? So with that said, how does it actually work? I mean, that's always the biggest question when it comes to these sort of simplified issue ways of doing things. Well, the first thing is obviously going to be the discussion that the agent, yourself, and the client is going to be having. And then what you're going to be doing is using our Simple Submit e-app process. Obviously, you fill out an application with your client, okay? It cannot be done on paper app. I just want to make that very clear. It has to go through the Simple Submit e-app, okay? So once that's done, it goes to our processing team, and we have an interview company called ESP. What they will do is they'll try to reach out to you and your client within the next 12 business hours, okay? Ask questions, get the medical history, all those sort of things. And then what they'll do, they'll take that information and then they're going to gather some of the background information like LexisNexis, MIB, stuff like that, things that you can get through the public data, public information, okay? And then there's that third step, notification. Either there's no labs needed, the case is going to be approved, and you and the client are notified about something like that, or the second thing is we will require some sort of labs. It could be blood, urine, it could be an APS, a paramed, something like that. But within 2 to 3 business days, you know, you're going to know what the next step is. Either the client is going to have some sort of approval, or we're going to have to go into full underwriting. Okay. Now, there's also that big question of how do you prepare the client ahead of time? Okay. So obviously what you're going to want to do is get them ready for that phone call, because they're going to have to go through that phone interview. What are they going to have to talk about? Current illnesses, past illnesses, injuries, conditions, you know, anything that's happened maybe within the past 2 or 3 years, their medical history, their family history, stuff like that. Are they tobacco users? Everything, something like that is, they're going to have to talk about a little bit of all those sort of things, okay? And also they're going to want to bring up the physicians that they've seen in the past 5 years. They're going to ask them about that, what they saw them for, all those sort of things. Let's talk about the eligibility. Who fits right away? Okay, well, up until about 3 months ago, what we had it for was ages 18 to 50 and up to $1 million in coverage, okay? Now, at the beginning of the year, we were able to add the age range. So now, ages 51 to 60 can apply for up to $500,000, and that's including $500,000 for the right-of-way process. So ages 18 to 50, it's up to $1 million. Ages 51 to 60, it's up to $500,000. What products are going to be available for this? It's basically every one that we have. It's going to be our Advantage Term. It's going to be our GUL, that Guaranteed Universal Life, our Custom Guarantee, or Gen 8, as some people might call it. We have it on the Builder Plus. We have it on the Rapid Builder IUL, and we have it on that Guarantee Builder IUL, which is that combination of a guaranteed death benefit product, as well as getting some cash value as well. I already talked about this. What's the application format? You have to use the simple submit process, no paper apps. We do have an impairment chart. If you actually go into our right-of-way process on our website, it's going to have everything listed. I'm not going to get into that at this point. And then the underwriting classes. So we do have the standard tobacco and non-tobacco users, preferred tobacco and non-tobacco users, and then we have the super preferred also. One thing I do want to point out, the internal replacement or exchanges, they're not eligible through this process. And then also approved states. Get this question all the time. Obviously, we don't do business in New York, and we still do not have it approved in California. I'm sure anybody on this call who's dealt with California on stuff like this in the past, they're used to, you know, delays and all those sort of things when it comes to this. And then again, I just want to reiterate who is going to be eligible. The healthiest clients you have, ages 18 to 50 up to $1 million in coverage, which includes $1 million, and then ages 51 to 60 up to $500,000, and that includes the $500,000 as well. Again, it has to be done through the simple submit or e-application, you know, going through the IAMS portal or NorthAmericanCompany.com as well. So at this time, before I get into the living benefits on term, are there any questions anybody had on this right-of-way process?
Let me take a look and see if there's any questions here for you. Nope, there's not any questions as of yet.
Okay. If there are any questions that come along, Sandy, you can just, you know, interrupt me as I go along, and then we'll just jump into that too. Okay, so with that said, what I want to do now is talk about how we were able to add living benefits to our Advantage Term about 4 or 5 months ago. So on our Advantage Term, which we've had for many, many years, we've always had the death benefit, and we've always had the terminal illness. Okay. Now, as a carrier, we know that a lot of insurance companies out there have got out of what we call sort of that long-term care type benefit. And now a lot of the life insurance companies had actually added all of these benefits, the chronic, the critical, and the terminal illness to life insurance plans, and sort of made them a Swiss Army knife of a product. 15 years ago, there was 15, 20 companies selling long-term care, but they kind of priced themselves right out of it. So that market has kind of tailed off a little bit. So again, us being a life insurance company, we wanted to add some of these living benefits to our product. What's great about this is we were able to do this without increasing the price. So now we have the death benefit, we have the critical, we have the chronic, and we have the terminal illness built in to the Advantage Term product. So who's it going to be? What person are you going to be selling this to? Well, obviously now being sort of, again, that Swiss Army knife of a product, whether they're looking for the life insurance part of it is the biggest factor, or they're looking for some living benefits or something like that, it can be almost anybody. Where before, the term insurance used to be, okay, I just need this to cover a mortgage or something like that. It never was really a living benefit play until the last couple of years. So this could almost be anybody at this point. Let's talk about critical illness first, okay? Let's talk about the big three. So 1.4 million people are diagnosed with cancer every year, all right? Every 34 seconds, someone has a heart attack. Every 40 seconds, someone in this country has a stroke. So obviously just hearing stuff like that, you know how critical these things have become in the past few years when it comes to living benefits and why they're so valuable. And again, like I said, with a lot of those long-term care insurance companies getting out of selling that long-term care, for a client to have this on some other sort of policy, it's very, very valuable. Now, again, I have to point this out. We cannot call it long-term care with us. We would call that more of our chronic illness, okay? So what are the critical illness implications? So 48% of mortgage foreclosures are the result of financial hardship due to critical illness. Only 3% are actually due to death. More than 60% of bankruptcies are tied to critical illness as well. Now, heart disease and stroke cause the highest out-of-pocket expenses. Look at those numbers. Heart disease, almost $22,000, and a stroke is over $23,000, okay? You see those numbers, that's a pretty compelling story. And that's why people more and more are concerned about health issues, living benefits, all those sort of things. Now also, let's look at the chronic illness average costs. The semi-private nursing home room, almost $70 a day. Private nursing home room, $20 per hour. Assisted living, over $3,600. Home health aid, over $7,500. And adult daycare is almost $7,000 per month. So obviously another big reason why people are going to be looking at some sort of coverage for these sort of things. They need that sort of protection. They need that sort of help. And we were able to add it to our Advantage Term. Obviously, what can we have with the Advantage Term now? We have the living benefits. It's competitively priced. You have that death benefit first and foremost, which is what life insurance is for. And a big thing with North American, if you don't know, is convertibility.
Hey, AJ, I'm going to interrupt real quick. All we're seeing right now is your calendar.
My calendar?
Yep, your calendar. Your reminders. So do you have a different screen? There, that disappeared, so that's good.
So you're not seeing the term information at all?
Nope, not right now. It's just a blue screen.
Okay, give me a second here.
Sure.
I apologize for that. Not sure why it's doing that.
Right now, we're just seeing the very beginning.
Okay. Let me try something else. I apologize. I'm not sure why this is doing this.
And while he's doing that, I will let everyone know for North American, that right-away program is such a great opportunity. It truly is a quick turnaround. You get a decision almost immediately. The policy is issued out. You get paid weekly from North American. So if you can place the case on a Thursday, you get paid on a Tuesday. So real quick turnaround. If we have any problem cases, we're able to talk directly to the underwriters on that, which is always a great thing. Some carriers just don't allow you to do that, so we're able to plead any cases that we need to plead. So I'm wondering, AJ, if you're just able to go back to your very last screen and maybe just talk about the remainder.
Yeah, hold on one second here. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to get this back up here. There must have been some sort of glitch in the screens. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that.
Also, for anyone who is not contracted with North American, we'll make sure to get you contracting paperwork out. They are a great A-rated carrier to have in the back of your back pocket. Again, whether you're looking at term, UL, IUL, whether you're looking at fixed or indexed annuities, North American's a great company for you to take a look at for that. Again, quick turnaround. You can have easy access to AJ or any of the marketers for case design assistance, whether that's executive bonus, key man, you need a little bit of additional help there. They're able to get those presentations over to you, which is great. Again, overall great company, and especially not just on the new business side, but also on the service side. When the case is completed and there's any customer service issues, you're able to get with North American pretty easily on that as well.
What can you see in the screen now?
So it's just a plain blank aqua screen. So at this point, maybe we should just continue to talk. Or you can continue to talk, and then we'll work on it from there.
Okay, I apologize for that. Yeah, I'll definitely have to send this over to you. I'm not exactly sure why it's skipping out on this. I'm not sure, but okay. So what I was going to say too is, when we talk about our advantage term product, we have the 10, 15, 20, and 30 year. And the 10 years ages 18 to 75. The 15 is ages 18 to 70. The 20 year is 18 to 65. And the 30 years ages 18 to 55. Okay, and then 18 to 50 for non-tobacco. That's the advantage term. For terminal illness, no additional premium. We didn't increase the cost. It's for 24-month life expectancy in most states. We do a discounting factor at the time of election. Premiums waived when the benefit is elected. The maximum, 90% of the face, up to 1 million total acceleration. So that's for the terminal illness. Now, if we're talking on the chronic, no additional premium. Premiums reduced based on the lowered face amount, and then basically any two of those 6 ADLs: bathing, continence, dressing, eating, transferring, toileting, all those sort of things. And then if you talk about the percentages with the chronic illness, it's a maximum 24% of the face amount, up to $480,000 per election, up to $2 million in chronic acceleration, and then there's a $2 million policy max total. With the chronic illness too, just like our other plans, like our IULs, it's automatically included for table 4 or better with no medical flat extras. And then again, we still do the discounting factor based on the underwriting at the time of election as well. Sandy, were you able to see my screen now?
No, we're not.
Okay, I apologize. Not sure why it's doing this. Now, critical illness, again, no additional premium. The premiums reduced based on the lowered amount. Critical illness, what are we talking about there? Cancer, heart attack, stroke, transplant, kidney failure. Now, the percentages for critical illness, it's 90%, maximum 90% of the face amount, up to $1 million. So total critical acceleration is $1 million, and the policy max total for critical illness is $2 million. Okay, now with this, the underwriting, it's automatically included for table 2 or better with no medical flat extras. Remember how I said the chronic is table 4, critical is table 2. So then also with North American, I did mention the convertibility options earlier. So if you convert to any of our permanent plans, like our custom guarantee, guarantee builder, builder plus, you do it in the first 5 years, the client can get the accelerated benefits that are built into the permanent plan with no additional underwriting, okay? Another thing too, when we do talk about convertibility, is during your term period, you can convert to any of those universal life products that we have, whether it's our custom guarantee, guarantee builder, builder plus IUL, and our rapid builder. Now, I know a lot of other companies out there do have conversion options, but a lot of the time it's to an inferior product. So having the availability to use this conversion option to any of our permanent plans is going to be a big advantage. So with that, what questions does anybody have on this?
Let me take a look here and see what questions that we may have. No questions as of yet. No questions.
Okay. That's really all I have when it comes to the right-of-way process, the simple submit e-application, as well as the accelerated benefits that we've added to the term insurance. Obviously, we have the full spectrum of products here at North American. We have the UL, we have the IULs, we have the term insurance, and we have the living benefits on those plans as well. And obviously, if you guys need any additional assistance, you can reach out to IAMS or myself for any sort of help.
So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll get the presentation over to you guys that you were not able to see, so you have the full presentation. So no worries about that. I'll also give everyone a call, as well as AJ, in regards to any questions that you may have, running any quotes that you may need. Sorry for the computer issues. You know, that happens with technology. It just does, and unfortunately it happened for this webinar. But again, we'll get you out that full presentation. I want to thank everyone for attending this webinar on this Monday morning. So greatly appreciate everyone's time. If you have any questions, of course, again, please give us a call. So greatly appreciate it. AJ, thank you so much. And everyone have a great, safe, healthy, and happy week. Bye-bye.